We all hit the gym for our own reasons, right? To get stronger, to look better, to chase that amazing feeling after a really heavy lift. But what is the biggest gain you're making isn't just in muscle size or strength, but in the number of healthy years you actually have left to live. Well, today, we are unpacking some absolutely game-changing science that connects every single rep in the gym to a longer, healthier life. Let's dive in. I mean, this is the ultimate question for anyone who grinds it out week after week, isn't it? You're putting in the work, you're sweating through those tough sets, and you want to know it's all counting towards something more than just a new personal best. For a long time, we kind of just hoped it was. But now, a huge wave of research is giving us some really solid answers. And trust me, they might just change the way you program your entire week. Okay, let's just kick this off with a big one. A massive analysis of 16 different studies found that people who consistently train for strength have a 15% lower risk of dying from any cause. Just think about that for a second. Every squat, every deadlift, every push-up is chipping away at your overall mortality risk. That's a huge win right out of the gate. Now let's get a little more specific. What about the #1 killer worldwide, cardiovascular disease? Well, that same research, published in the super prestigious British Journal of Sports Medicine, shows that lifters have a 17% lower risk. And this just perfectly illustrates a key point. Strength training isn't just about your skeletal muscles. It's an incredibly powerful tool for building a more resilient heart and vascular system. And the final piece of this powerful trio, cancer. The data shows a 12% lower risk of dying from cancer for those who strength train. I mean, when you see these three numbers back to back, it becomes crystal clear. Your time in the gym is a serious investment in your long-term health, building a body that is just fundamentally more robust and better equipped to fight off disease for decades to come. So the really crucial point here is that we're moving way beyond the idea of just building muscles for looks. This is the hard science of life extension. This isn't just some theory. It's what large-scale data collected from literally hundreds of thousands of people is telling us loud and clear. But before we go any deeper, let's just make sure we're all on the same page. In all these studies, you'll see the term resistance training, or RT. Now, this is a super broad category that covers pretty much everything we love to do. It's lifting barbells and dumbbells, it's using machines and cables, pulling on resistance bands, and yep, even all you bodyweight masters out there doing push-ups, pull-ups, and squats. So whether you're a powerlifter, a bodybuilder, a CrossFitter, or just love a good workout at home, you are in the right place. The benefits we're talking about apply to you. All right, now this is where it gets really fascinating because the science is about to challenge one of the biggest beliefs in the fitness world. In the gym, we're so often programmed to think more is better, right? More volume, more frequency, more intensity. But when the goal is specifically longevity, the data points to something very, very different. It points to a sweet spot. For years, the whole mantra has been go hard or go home, hasn't it? The assumption is that the benefits of lifting just keep on climbing the more you do it. But what this new wave of research shows is that for reducing your risk of mortality, there seems to be a point of maximum benefit, an optimal dose. And after that point, the life-extending perks don't just level off, they can actually start to decrease. So naturally, this raises the million-dollar question for anyone trying to train not just for today, but for a healthier tomorrow. What is that optimal dose? How much time do you actually need to spend under the iron each week to cash in on these incredible benefits? Get ready for this one, because the answer is probably a lot more freeing than you think. 30 to 60 minutes per week. That's it. That is the scientifically identified sweet spot for maximizing your longevity gains from strength training, according to that massive meta-analysis by JAMA and his colleagues. This is absolutely incredible news. We're talking 2 30-minute sessions or maybe 3 20-minute sessions a week. This makes the life-extending benefits of strength training accessible to absolutely everyone, no matter how packed your schedule is. Now, what's really interesting here is how this visualizes that sweet spot idea. Scientists call this a J-curve relationship. As you go from zero training up to that 30 to 60-minute window, you see that massive drop in mortality risk, up to 20%. That's your sweet spot. But look what happens as you keep going. The benefits actually start to shrink. It's a classic case of diminishing returns. More work just doesn't equal more reward here. And hey, this isn't just some theory I'm throwing at you, it's a direct quote from the research. After about an hour a week, the added benefit starts to fade. Once you pass about 140 minutes, so just over 2 hours, the longevity effect might disappear completely. Now, this is so crucial. This is not saying more training is bad for building muscle or strength. It's specifically about all-cause mortality. For longevity, hitting that sweet spot with consistency is way more important than hitting beast mode for hours on end every single week. So we've found the perfect dose of strength training for a long life. That's a huge piece of the puzzle right there. But what if we want to take it to another level? What if we want to create the most powerful anti-aging fitness routine possible? Well, the science has an answer for that too, and it's all about the power of combination. Just look at this chart. This is from another huge study, and it's an absolute game changer. Strength training by itself, a fantastic 18% risk reduction. Aerobic exercise or cardio, even better, a 25% reduction. But when you do both, the benefit just skyrockets to an incredible 40% reduction in all-cause mortality. This isn't just simple addition. It's what they call a synergistic effect. It's a fitness 1 + 1 = 3 scenario. This quote really says it all. The two types of training are a dynamic duo. Strength training builds and maintains muscle, which is so vital for your metabolic health and preventing frailty. Cardio strengthens your heart and lungs. You put them together and you've built this comprehensive shield against so many of the diseases of aging. It's the ultimate 1-2 punch for longevity. Now, if you thought we were done with the surprises, just hold on, because the research gets even more specific, looking at how these benefits play out across different groups of people. And one of the most interesting findings from recent studies is a really consistent difference between men and women. So check out this data from a massive study of over 200,000 older adults. When they isolated the effects of strength training, the results were stunning. Women who lifted saw a 12% drop in death from any cause, a 16% drop from heart disease, and a 9% drop from cancer. For men, the benefits were still there, but significantly smaller across the board. And this isn't just a one-off finding either. Several large studies are pointing to the exact same conclusion. Women seem to get a greater protective benefit from the same amount of resistance training. And while the exact reasons are still being studied, it just highlights how unbelievably powerful getting strong is for women's long-term health. It's a non-negotiable tool for a longer, healthier life. Okay, that was a ton of mind-blowing science. We've busted the more's better myth, we've found the longevity sweet spot, and we've uncovered the ultimate fitness combo. So now, let's bring it all together. Let's turn all this science into a simple, practical action plan you can start using this week. Here it is, your blueprint for longevity. Step 1, hit that sweet spot. Aim for a total of 30 to 60 minutes of strength training a week. That could be 2 30-minute full-body workouts. Super simple. Step 2, add the power up. Layer in at least 150 minutes of moderate cardio. Think a brisk 30-minute walk 5 days a week. And step 3, probably the most important of all, stay consistent. These benefits aren't earned in a week or a month. They're the result of making this a habit for life. So I want you to think about your own routine right now. Based on everything we've just covered, what's one small change you could make this week to better align with the science of longevity? Maybe it's trimming a little volume from your lifting to get back into that sweet spot. Maybe it's finally committing to those post-workout walks. Remember, the best plan is the one you can actually stick to. So, what's your first move? And that's a wrap on our deep dive into training for a longer life. If this helped you connect the dots between your hard work in the gym and your long-term health, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. And of course, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our next explainer, where we break down the science to help you get stronger, healthier, and train smarter. Thanks for watching.